last evening. I don't see Canada on here. The whole reason why, you can zoom in on YouTube if you want right now, is that, well, that was put on hold because of our separate trade negotiations and agreements with our neighbors to the north and south. And what happened today, the 25%, that's exactly what Scott Bessent said you should not do. The Treasury Secretary spoke on our extended edition of Balance of Power right after the president outlined the tariff regime. Here's what he said.
Advise none of the countries to panic. I wouldn't try to retaliate, because as long as you don't retaliate, this is the high end of the number. And I think the market could have certainty that this is the number barring retaliation. So we've got a ceiling, and then we can see if there's a different floor. The mindset might be to let things settle for a while, so we'll see where it goes from here.
Don't panic as we assemble our signature panel. Rick Davis and Jeannie Shanzano are here by the grace of God. Our signature panel, Bloomberg Politics contributors. Jeannie is our Democratic analyst and senior democracy fellow at the Center for the Study of the Presidency and Congress. Rick is partner at Stone Court Capital. So here we are, guys. We're back together. It has been announced these tariffs take effect this weekend and next week. First the baseline, then the reciprocal. Rick, you're seeing the reaction in the markets here. Did the White House just make a horrible mistake?
Well, I don't think they think it's a mistake, in the sense that this was completely predictable and predicted by virtually every economist and analyst that I saw, both on our program and others, as to what would happen, not knowing even the scale of these reciprocal tariffs that were announced yesterday. So I think that everybody in the White House maybe had to brace themselves for this outcome, but the outcome was virtually certain to be disruptive to the public markets, and obviously that's what's come about. And this idea that you just quoted the Treasury Secretary on, the idea of, oh, don't panic, these are the highest levels you're going to get, and what you really are is just getting certainty now. Well, this is the only thing that the markets have been asking for, is give us some certainty. And this is not certainty. I mean, this was not presaged by the White House. The idea that they sort of just sprung these levels on and included, as you say, so much of the rest of the world, but not, people who are already currently in trade negotiations. I think Mexico's in the same category as Canada on that. And did not include any kind of increased trade tariffs on sort of those who have sanctions, Russia, North Korea, China, Iran. It's anything but certainty. And so this idea that don't panic, everyone is panicking. The White House has made us do that.
Are you panicked, Jeannie?
I like your chart, Joe. Brendan did that. It's very nice.
It's pretty nice.
It's very nice. A big, beautiful chart, Joe Matthew. Of course,
thank you. That's what I got.
Very bigly. When we look down at the numbers, of course, we see the fallacy of what is on that chart. And that has been, took people only a few minutes after the president held it up yesterday to talk about that. But just to talk about what you were just asking, Rick, I am a little bit panicked, but this is an enormous, enormous mistake on the part of the White House. And, to hear Howard Lutnick come out just a few minutes ago and say, nothing to see here, don't panic, relax. Well, when you are putting tariffs on 10% on tiny islands that contain, as far as anybody knows, penguins and seals, and you're telling us, trust the president, he knows what he's doing, it is not engendering a good deal of trust in any of us. And so, yes, panicking slightly, Joe Matthew, and hoping there is a way to walk this back, but he is so committed to it, I am not sure there is.
So you're worried about the penguins, Jeannie.
And the seals,
you might have
Joe, don't
seen...
leave the seals out.
Where are they going to shop, Rick? Did you see these wide-ranging tariffs hit the barren Heard and McDonald Islands in the sub-Antarctic Indian Ocean? Turns out these are territories of Australia, they're covered in glaciers and have populations of 0 people. Tells you what about the process that went into this?
Yeah, I mean, the idea that we had to be surprised with the probably biggest economic decision made by the United States in 100 years. Why would we want to be surprised by that, right? Why wouldn't we have been brought along? And the preparatory work. I mean, this was presaged for a long time, right? I mean, Donald Trump's been talking about this Independence Day thing for a long time. There are hundreds of people working on this. The idea that you would produce a chart or a policy that includes penguins and not people is shockingly sloppy. And by the way, bad for the White House in the sense not just that it was sloppy, but like that's all people are talking about today is we got tariff sanctions on penguins. I mean, for heaven's sakes, forget the fact that China's got 50% tariffs now, our largest trading partner. So
Right.
You got it all there. But again, I mean, I know I've been a bit of a, nagging drumbeat on this, but there are competency issues showing up every day around this administration. They have to get their act together. They can't keep slipping up. We can't have a story a day about mistakes that were made and taking all the attention off of what these policies are, because we should really be focused on those policies and the impact on American taxpayers.